Now, before I bring on Stefan, let me tell you a little bit about how I met him. Actually, Stefan, we met at a workshop of some kind that, in fact, I believe it was the last presentation at some kind of seminar setting that I did before I went into like semi-retirement back in 2011. And we met and we talked a little bit. And I still remember when I met him, he's got this great energy to him, and at the time he was just getting started as an internet entrepreneur, and I think I gave him a copy of my book, F You Money, and he took that book and I'll let him tell you all the story. But to a long story short, and today he's a very successful internet marketer, very well known online. His website is Project Life Mastery, and as you're listening to him, I want you to hear his journey, how he went from just struggling and went from zero, and in just a few short years, the technique, the strategy, or the psychology, the mindset, what he's done to be who he is today. So, and I am very honored that I've had a small impact in his life. So please give a big warm welcome to Stefan from Project Life Mastery.
Thank you. Awesome. How you guys doing tonight? Cool. I actually want to share the story of how I met Dan and everything. Years ago when I was struggling, trying to find a way to make money online, I was living in my friend's living room on his couch, trying to find a way to survive, exploring this whole online marketing sort of thing. I went to a seminar here in Vancouver called the Canada Marketing Summit. And at that event, Dan was one of the speakers. And I remember being so inspired by him. He just had this incredible energy, charisma. And there's other speakers there, but he was able to communicate in a very effective way. And at that event, he gave away the book, F You Money. And I remember at the time, I was just starting out my career and just trying to do this stuff. And I went to Southeast Asia for 3 months. And I went for a few reasons. One, I had a business here in Vancouver where I convinced my business partners to allow me to travel for 3 months. I'd run the business, do all the marketing for it, and they would do all the events, seminars, stuff that we did in Vancouver. So $1,500 a month would allow me to go to Southeast Asia, run the business. And the other reason is it's very inexpensive to live in Southeast Asia. You know, $1,500 a month is a lot cheaper to live there than it is here in Vancouver. So that $1,500 a month living in Laos, Cambodia, I actually lived pretty well compared to Vancouver, and I could actually focus on building my online business. And I remember being in Beijing at the airport for a layover. And I had my journal, I was writing down my goal for this trip, and I was so committed to make money online, and my goal was to make $300 a month passive income from that online business. And I decided, you know, I'm not coming back to Vancouver until I make that $300 a month, because that $300 a month would change my life. It would give me the opportunity to get away from living on my friend's couch and at least maybe get my own place. And so I was so committed, and I brought Dan's book with me. And I remember on that trip, I was so focused, and I was reading Dan's book, and it really gave me the mindset to succeed online. And it really motivated me in so many ways. And sure enough, I achieved that goal on that trip. And it was just a really powerful experience for me. And Dan had like a video training program, I think it was called F You Money as well. And it basically taught how to do information products, all this sort of stuff. And it's just an amazing experience now being here. You know, years ago, struggling, looking up on stage, seeing Dan speak and being so inspired. And to now be in this position to have developed a friendship with Dan and to have this opportunity. And I think I was thinking about this today, the impact that you can have on someone is pretty incredible. You know, Dan probably had no idea that when he wrote this book, you know, he'd be able to impact someone in that kind of way. And it's just an incredible thing that one little idea, one little insight, one little strategy or inspiration or story can really change someone's life. And sometimes we forget that, and we lose track of that in many ways. And I know for myself as an entrepreneur now as well, I've been blessed to be able to inspire people and share ideas and strategies, and I don't even really know the extent of the impact that I've had as well. And I've had people come up to me and share it, and it's just a really cool feeling. And I think that's why it's just a cool feeling to be in business and the contribution, the difference that you make. And I'm just really blessed to be here, and I want to thank you, Dan, for the impact that you've had in my life. So let's give Dan a round of applause.